Hi, my name's Ella, partner, and I'm an associate in the healthcare team, and I'm here with Jane Lang, partner in the healthcare team. We're here to talk about inquests. So Jane, could you tell us what an inquest is?
Basically, an inquest is a fact-finding inquiry following an unexplained death to answer 4 questions. The 4 questions are who the deceased was, where, when, and how they died.
And what is an interested person?
An interested person has a specific status in the inquest. It means that the person who is identified as an interested person is entitled to have advance disclosure of the evidence to be heard at the inquest, the right to have legal representation, and the right to put questions to the witnesses during the course of the inquest.
And what if you're told you're a witness of fact?
A witness of fact is completely different to an interested person. They are, what it says on the tin, a witness of fact. It also means that they're not entitled to see the evidence in advance of the inquest, don't have the right to ask questions, and don't have the right to have legal representation.
And can a witness bring someone else to support them?
Yes, of course. An inquest is held in open court, which means that anyone can go in and listen to the evidence that's being there. Most witnesses find it helpful to have someone there to support them because it's quite helpful to discuss your evidence afterwards, just to check what you said.
What if the coroner asks for a statement or a report?
Well, it's very important that you take care if you're asked to provide a statement because this forms the basis of your evidence. My advice is generally to make sure that you have the records before you start to write your statement, to refer to them and check their accuracy.
And what happens at the end of an inquest?
Once the evidence has been heard, the coroner will then conclude the inquest. The coroner will summarise the facts and make a number of findings, and will then reach what is now known as a conclusion. You may have heard it referred to as a verdict in the past. They will then answer those 4 questions and deal with either a short form conclusion, you may have heard of natural causes and open conclusion, or a short narrative conclusion, which is a very brief, neutral summary of what has happened.
And what is a Regulation 28 report?
Coroners are now obliged to consider a Regulation 28 report, otherwise known as a Prevention of Future Deaths report. If the coroner has concerns about the risk of future deaths, they will write to the organisation, as it generally is, to set out what the concerns are. They can't say what action needs to be taken, but they highlight the concerns, and the person receiving that report has to respond to the coroner within 56 days.
And what does this mean for healthcare practitioners?
Generally, for healthcare practitioners, if they receive a Regulation 28 report, then they have to respond to the coroner. But also, healthcare practitioners, most of them have an obligation to self-refer to their regulatory body if they're criticised during the course of a public inquiry, and an inquest is a public inquiry.
And could you explain what an Article 2 inquest is?
Well, that could be a very lengthy explanation, but in very short, in very brief terms, where the state is involved, it has a right to protect life or prevent death. And the coroner, in cases where there's been a death in custody or in prison, or a death of a psychiatric patient who has been sectioned, will conduct a wider inquiry, so the how turns into and in what circumstances. It usually deals with system failures.
And is attendance at an inquest compulsory?
Yes, if the coroner asks you to attend, then you must attend. The coroner can issue a summons to force you to attend, but generally, if the coroner asks you to attend, then you must.
And what about at a pre-inquest review?
Pre-inquest reviews are housekeeping matters to decide what evidence is to be called. If you're an interested person and you have legal representation, then your legal representative will generally attend.
And how should a witness address the coroner?
Depends on whether the coroner is a man or a woman. They're normally a sir or a madam.
And what should a witness wear to an inquest?
There's no need to dress in black. I would advise generally a smart outfit. Sometimes nurses will attend in uniform, but a smart, sober outfit.
And as a healthcare practitioner, do I need to be at the inquest for the whole inquest?
Generally, no. You are there to attend until the coroner releases you, but most coroners will release a witness with the agreement of all the other legal representatives once they've given their evidence.
And will a decision be reached at the end of the inquest?
Yes, except in the most complex of inquests, which hopefully you won't be involved with, the coroner will reach the conclusion at the end of the day or the end of the inquest.
Thanks very much, Jane.
Thank you.